What's up, gamers, and welcome back for more WotC-20. Today's matchup is Powerlines vs ZapChu. If you're not familiar with these decks, Powerlines is Skyridge Magneton with a bunch of energy movement options, and Furret, and Raikous, and Zapdos. And then ZapChu is also Zapdos and Raichu, so lots of lightning decks in tournament this week, apparently. Lots of them matching up against each other, and apparently a Dragon Plume deck, so... Opening actives, no Clef is in sight. That's a rarity for WotC-20, and it will be Magnemite versus Pikachu. That Magnemite is from Neo Discovery. That Pikachu is base set, I believe. And Energy Stadium comes down immediately into a comp search. We'll see what gets grabbed there. Sorry, that is not base set Pikachu. That is Jungle Pikachu, but I cannot see the jungle symbol from here to save my life. But it is supposedly there. Comp search for Fan Club, good opener. One of the best cards you can check out in an opening hand. If you can find it, comp search into Fan Club is incredibly common turn one. Going and grabbing Black Star Promo Eevee with Chain Evolution and Cleffa for the bench. Magnemite texting its own Cleffas, telling them to get on in here and onto the bench before things get out of control. Now, the Pikachu cannot attack this turn. It only has a 2 attach attack and Spark. It does have 50 HP though. Unlike base Pikachu that I thought it was earlier, which has 40. Energy Stadium roll is a Tails. And turn to pass back into a Fan Club immediately. What were we just saying about Fan Club? So I assume we will see a Cleffa now. Considering the Sentret. And grabbing the Sentret. Furret is such a good support card from Aquapolis, so if you have a chance to set up your Sentrets early, you might as well. And like we said, there's the Cleffa. Just needs an energy for turn to get the Magnemite out of the active. Of course, switching that Cleffa in to potentially get sparked by Pikachu, not ideal, but that's okay. And it will be a lightning attached to the Cleffa, not the Magnemite. And turns will pass back. So on ZapChu's side, there's a Raichu in hand already, but that Raichu has some pretty costly attacks, so I'd be surprised if we see it soon. Instead, we will naturally evolve the Eevee, which is hilarious because usually the Chain Evolution ability is used for that, but nothing else is evolving. Energy Stadium rolls for a Tails. And turns will pass back, so no attach for turn. Energy Stadium whiffing was a big deal there. And immediately Furret will join the field, Sentret evolving. That would have triggered Chain Reaction for the Jungle Jolteon to come into play, but now there's also a Jungle Jolteon in play.
Looks like 2 cards are going to get tucked for Furret here, so
Scavenger Hunt allowing Magneton to go and grab any energy card they want, which will be Warp. There's Warp on the Magnemite, gets it out of danger, and preserves the attach, not needing to really retreat. And that will be an Eek. Attach for turn to the Pikachu in the active, so now Spark is online. Raichu comes down, so now there will be no attack. Energy Stadium will be good though. So Lightning will be grabbed out of the bin. There's another one for next turn as well. To eventually get Giga Shock online. Giga Shock on that Raichu deals 30, and then you choose 3 of the opponent's bench Pokemon and deal 10 to each of them. Full hand now, coming off of that Eek. Lots of energy. I see a Magneton. It is cool evolving from a metal type to a lightning type. Lightning attached for turn on the Magnemite. Now that does enable its 2 attacks. But we don't have to worry about that. We will just simply evolve into Skyridge Magneton. Attract energy will pull the lightning energy off of that Cleffa onto itself. And the Raichu will get attacked for 40. I assume that the lightnings are not going to get detached for electric blast, but if you're not familiar with the attack, you can discard all lightning attaches to Magneton. If you do, for each one that goes to the bin, you can spread that damage amongst the opponent's bench in any way you like. Warp Energy hits the Raichu. That Raichu does have a beefy 90 HP. And Energy Stadium will hit heads, so Raichu gets out of danger. And Cleffa gonna have to just stay in the active. Cannot get an attached return to Eek. Furret gets gusted. Furret can always scavenger hunt to go and grab a warp, keep that in mind, and turns will pass. DCE also found could just attach DCE for turn and take out this Cleffa. A riskier play. Looks like they're going to scavenger hunt though, based on the cards being set aside. There's two. Going and grabbing a DCE, which was already in the hand, I thought. Very curious. And there's a DCE onto Furret now. So there is still one in the hand that was preserved, but they went and grabbed another one. And it is a Tails on the spinning attack to knock out the Cleffa. Prizes remain 6-6. Back on ZapChu's side, attached for turn to the Raichu. Energy removal on the Magneton will hit Lightning. And turns will pass back. Oh my gosh. Lightning attached for turn. Are there two DCEs in hand now? I think that was another one coming up off the top. No, maybe. Hard to tell. Tails on the Energy Stadium, but heads on the Furret attempt for spinning attack to knock out Cleffa. First prize goes to Magneton. Or Furret, really. Fossil Zapdos joins the bench. Attached return to the Raichu now means Gigashock is online. Now, the opponent only has 2 on the bench, so Gigashock is only going to do 10 to each of those. You can't Gigashock and double up on one of them, so if there was an extra bench Pokemon, Gigashock would do a little more. It'll be 10 to the bench, and 30 to the Furret. Or sorry, 40? No, 30 to the Furret. Can't read the die. Energy Stadium flip is good. No? I really can't read that die. Okay, it's a Tails. Attached return to Magneton. The Raichu has 50 HP remaining. We'll keep an eye on that. I think Furret trades okay with it. Elm for turn, so no more trainers. Draw a full 7, probably trying to fill out that bench. Quick resolve on Elm. Now here, the trading between Furret and Raichu is not favorable for the Raichu. A lot of energy would go to the bin if knocked out. Magnemite joins the bench. And spinning attack for 30, so now that Raichu, if I could only read the dice, I believe is at 20 HP remaining. And Furret would not get knocked out here, would have 10 HP remaining. So standing in strong with the Raichu, just Giga Shocking for 30 to the active and then 10 to the bench. Cleffa 10 damage away from being knocked out, 20 on the Magneton and 10 on the other Magnemite.
Alright, and as we were saying before, the trading up being favorable for Raichu. The Furret can stand in and trade with it. It does have 10 HP remaining. But now prizing is 4 to 6 in favor of Magneton, with the benched Magneton very much powered up. Copycat for 7 here. See what gets found. Currently, Electric Blast can spread 30 damage. Of course, that won't do much against the currently benched Zapdos with so much HP.
Alright, no more supporters for turn. We'll keep an eye on that. Attached for turn to the Jolteon. Jolteon won't be able to attack yet, though. It has Quick Attack and Pin Missile for higher attack costs. It looks like a comp search for something. Or was that a trader, actually? Yeah, it looks like it was a trader. Yep, okay. Alright, trader goes and grabs a Cleffa. Almost no energy on board at the moment for ZapChu. Energy removal hits the DCE on Furret. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Furret just warp out next turn. Alright, oaking the hand, so aggressive turn for ZapChu needs to be done. Down 2 prizes. Pikachu joins the bench, Jungle Pikachu, as well as a Black Star promo Eevee. You can see another Jolteon in hand, and a Zapdos from Fossil also joins the bench, so big full bench. Heads on the Energy Stadium. And turns will pass back. Did we see an attach for turn there? I don't think we did. Now a trader from Magneton's side. Probably going to go and grab another Magneton if I had to guess. Nope, going to go and grab a Sentret. So presumably another Furret easily accessible if they're going to stay in and attack here. I would expect a Warp Energy out, but we will see. Lightning to Magnemite and a pass, so going to leave the Furret in to get knocked out. Attach for turn to Jolteon now enables Quick Attack, it deals 10. You flip a coin, if heads it does 30, if tails it just does 10. Energy Stadium is a tails. Black Star promo Eevee naturally evolves into Jolteon. And Quick Attack takes care of business on the Furret. First prize for ZapChu, prizing 4 to 5 in favor of Magneton. Magnemite comes in. I assume we're going to see it evolve. Yep. You
You see the hand. There's 2 Magnetons in hand. Pick your favorite. Furret was also in hand as we discussed last turn, hence setting up that Sentret and sacking the Furret. Rolling for Energy Stadium. Looks like a Tails. Gust in hand, we'll keep an eye on that too. Magneton evolves, pulling all of the energy to it. That's a lot. That's a lot. 5? 5 or 6? Looks like 5. 40 to the Jolteon. 5 would take out the Pikachu. Doing some math. Alright, so instead opting to knock out the Cleffa and deal 10 to Pikachu, 10 to the Jolteon. Attach for a turn goes onto the active Jolteon along with a Strength Charm. So Pin Missile now online. It'll be 4 coin flips, 20 for each heads, and then if it deals anything, an additional 10 off that Strength Charm. Energy Stadium roll first. Alright, big Pin Missile attack here. Alright, it'll deal 50. That should be... How much is that at? Alright, looks like that put the Magneton up to 60 total out of 80. Energy Stadium for turn, looks like a Tails. Rocket Zapdos joins the bench. A little bit of planning going on here, it looks like. Going to talk with Furret. Electric Blast from Magneton, a very good attack, but does decelerate quite a bit of energy. And turns pass back, leaving that Magneton in the active, so Pin Missile likely to knock it out now. Jolteon has 30 remaining HP, Magneton has 20 remaining HP. Attached for turn will be Lightning somewhere to the bench. Considering what the next attacker will be, it looks like it will be Jolteon again. The bench Jolteon has 10 damage on it. Oaking away a Computer Search and something else to get a full new hand on the ZapChu side. Prizing still 3 to 5 in favor of Magneton, so trying to keep up here. Finds a bunch of energy. Rolls for Energy Stadium, hits the heads. So now there's even more energy in hand. Is there any in the bin? There is. And Jolteon's looking at a knockout here. Pin Missile just needs 1 heads. And it's there, so prizing now 3 to 4. Magneton brings Cleffa in. Zapdos cannot come in Plasma for a knockout in retaliation. It would be 10 damage short. Now Magneton could have come in for a revenge knockout. There would be an attach through Furret or otherwise. Energy Stadium is a Tails. Attach for turn is available to the Magneton. Maybe the Cleffa will just free retreat out. 20 damage on this Magneton as it comes active. And yes, that will be a knockout 40 from Electric Blast. No discarding this time for bench spread. Just a straight 40. Jolteon with 10 damage on it, I believe, comes active, gets an attach, so Quick Attack is online now. Cleffa joins the bench. Pretty big hand. Rolling for Energy Stadium. Energy Stadium putting in a ton of work for both sides. Quick Attack heads rolls. Looks like it was a heads, so that will deal 30 to the Magneton, which I believe is now at 40. No, it was at 20, so it should be at 50, assuming that was a heads. Tails on the Energy Stadium again. Electric Blast can't take a KO here. Pikachu gets gusted. That will be a knockout here. And we'll see if Electric Blast is going to do any bench spread. Can always chip away at that Jolteon. No, instead deals 10 to the Pikachu, potentially setting up a final KO with one more Electric Blast with that Pikachu down to 40 HP. Of course, it could evolve into a beefy 90 HP Raichu. Energy Stadium heads again. Jolteon here, I believe, needs 2 out of 4 heads on the Pin Missile to take the knockout on this Magneton. And here we go. 1 heads. Yep, that's good enough. Takes the knockout, prizing 3-1 in favor of Magneton's side. Recycle goes to hand on the KO. Cleffa comes active. Energy removal hits the Jolteon, so now it's down to 2, only Quick Attack enabled now. Rolling for Energy Stadium is a heads. Attaches it for turn to the Zapdos, which might just Electro Burn for game at this point. It comes in anyway. Plasma will deal 20. Next turn, setting up a Electro Burn for game. Jolteon has 70 HP in the best scenario here. It's already damaged, so Electro Burn would finish things off. Of course, there is a line here where Pin Missile takes the knockout for 80. That would be actually incredible. Going for the Pin Missile. Okay. 2 heads out of the 4, deals 40. So will it be a double knockout for game? I believe it will be. Rolling for Energy Stadium. It's good, that'll do it. That'll enable Electro Burn for 70. Zapdos will knock itself out in retaliation as well, but that is the final prize. So that will be it. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe for more WotC-20, and we'll catch you next time.